Hi, I'm Ija. I am a queer trauma therapist and a trauma survivor myself. And today I want to talk about feeling confused in a relationship. It's usually a sign. Yeah. As a person who navigated relationships and cope with my own trauma, a lot of times I would gaslight myself, saying it's just I'm overthinking, I have anxious attachment style, or I am confused, right? But as I went through more healing of myself and supporting my clients, I recognize that it's usually the feeling of confused is your body picking up some mixed signals, and usually some incoherence with what someone says and what they're actually doing. You might sense a gap and feel the fog. That is very important feeling. And for example, in the past, I find myself um, in relationships where people say, they really care about me, etc. But I will constantly become the sounding board in that relationship. And I will freeze and let the other person take all the space. And instead of listening to my discomfort or honoring my own boundary, um, I I would abandon my feelings or just have a pause of how I feel. At the time, I thought it was being generous. It was me trying to be helpful. But in hindsight, I really discovered that it's not. It's a disservice to both myself, the other person, and the relationship, right? Because relationship's supposed to be mutual, a healthy relationship. There's two people, two parties, and need to be equal contributions. And you shouldn't masking, making space for someone else's needs while or ignoring your own instincts. Right? In those times when I really lost touch with my truth and the yes stops being a choice and become it's really driven from fear, saying, oh, I don't want to be abandoned, I don't want to be left from the relationship, I will do whatever to keep connected, right? And then the no really doesn't feel safe, right? Doesn't feel like you have the right space to say no to people. I found that happen a lot, maybe in different versions for folks who experience emotional neglect as a child. If you experience emotional neglect, you might find yourself drawn to people who are hot and cold, who are inconsistent, who are make you feel confused, who are manipulative, in maybe unawarely, or emotionally unavailable. And just because that pattern is so familiar, and then suddenly you get a lot of attention, and then there's some pull away, withdrawal. While it's familiar and we don't have any control of who we are attracted to, we do have choice, right? By knowing that, oh, hmm, it's not all about me, and I do deserve for my needs to be met, and I do deserve to voice my needs, right? And yeah, it's also not about blaming the other person. It's about valuing your own clarity, right? Your body signals your boundaries, your truth, and healing really looks like this. It's like saying, "Oh, this doesn't feel good to me. I'm okay, thank you," and you don't really need to justify why. Or it sounds like, I want warmth, but I also want consistency. That's important to me. Being able to reject and to leave something that's lesser than what you deserve, you're looking for in relationships. It also looks like saying, I want connections, but that doesn't have to cost my own peace or my own mental health. Again, you're not too sensitive, you're not too much. You're just remembering what safety feels like. And this time, you can choose you.